Okay, today you can see I'm going to show you about doing a macerator pump. If you're not familiar with a macerator pump, it's a way to take solids and it grinds them down into liquids. You can put it through a smaller hose. Lots of YouTube videos about it, but what I do is just a little bit different than what some of the other ones show. So we predominantly camp at Corps of Engineer campgrounds, Harvest Host, Boondocker Welcome, that type of stuff, and sometimes we don't have quite enough storage space. So what I did to alleviate that was I got a 50-gallon tank. And I'll show you what the stuff is. This is all for sewage in here. So, and yes, the outside of the boxes are clean. Just cleaned all this before I put it back in from the last trip. Then decided to do a video about it. This is a 50-gallon tank, and it came from RV something. I'll put a link in anyway. You can get it. It's a 50-gallon tank. It's what I've got. You can get them smaller, you can get them bigger. 50-gallon works fine because I only have 40 gallons of gray water and I have 20 gallons of black, and I don't run them all the way to the top before I decide to dump them. So 50 gallons works perfect for me. Typically I'm about 40 gallons when I empty it into it. What I did is I went to the big box store, the blue one, and I bought all the different fittings for it, and I will show you the fittings here in a few minutes. But this one here is just a tap that you'd use for like a house for your outside faucet, screwed into this tank. Then down here at the bottom you got a gate valve, and your regular sewer hose goes on it, and behind it it's just got different fittings to bring it back down to 1.5 inches from this. And then on this side I've just got a plug in it, and then up here is where I actually hook the black tank hose to it. I've got a garden hose and I've got black water wrote on it, so I never get them confused. And in fact, you can see this is my fresh water. My black water is a solid blue, so I also have that where I don't get them mixed up. It'll pump over 100 feet up a hill with no problem. I've never really had to do it other than I just tried it one time because everybody said it would do it, just to see, and it will. It'll pump water over 100 feet. I've never actually pumped sewage over 100, but water is water, I guess. Typically I'm just from the trailer to the back of the truck, and then I drive the truck down to the dump station, and then I dump it out just like everybody else does. You can do, like I've seen some other people do, like if you was mooch docking, you could take your hose and run it into a toilet, 50 feet, 100 feet, I guess, to get to somebody's toilet and put it in it, and then pump it off into the toilet. You got to have a really good friend to let you do that, I got to tell you, because that smells pretty bad. Anyway, let me get some gloves on and get a few of these things unpacked, and then I'll come back and I'll show you a little more detail about it. All right, the closer look at the tank. This is your regular gate valve that you'd get for any RV. I got this one at the local RV store here, and you can see it goes into a bell connector, and then a piece of PVC, and then another bell connector, and it reduces it down to 1.5 inches to get into the tank. Like I said before, this right here is just a regular valve, and the reason I use this is you got to have a way to get the air pressure, just so it don't end up trying to blow the tank apart, or when you're emptying it have a suction on it. So I just use it to open it up to give it relieve the air pressure. And then down at the bottom, this tank had an extra hole, so I put a plug in it, and this one up here, you can see it's got all kinds of connectors to get you down to a quick connect. These quick connects came off of Amazon. You can get them in a whole box. So I got a box of them, and I got them on every hose I've got, just about it. It just makes it really easy. Makes it easier and cleaner also when you're connecting and disconnecting, especially sewage. So that's all the parts for the dump part of it. Then in this box here, like I told you before, I have the hoses. Well, this one here is actually marked black hose. And then in this box you have the actual macerator pump. and I'll show you how I hook that up. And I do it a little different. Some people do these with just 12 volts, and then the way I do it is I use a converter from 110 volts down to 12 to do this. And the reason I do is because it's just simple for me, easier. I don't have to go try to run it off the house battery and stuff. I can just hook it right into the side of the trailer where I got a 110 outlet. Then this is it's just a converter, switches you from 110 to 12. And on the side of the trailer, right here, I have a 110 outlet. So that's where I use that. And then if you come down the trailer a little more, you see where all my black and gray water stuff comes out. Now, I am at my home base, and I do have a septic over here that's we use it just for this. It's the septic tank just for dumping RV when I get home. So I could just dump it straight over to there, but for today's purposes, I'm trying to show you how I do it in the campground. We're gonna pretend we're in the campground. So let me get the camera set back up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've put the boxes and put the gloves on. So this is the converter, 110 converter, and I'm going to plug it into the side of the trailer. Then you take the macerator, I hook the pump up, turn it on. Don't know if it's going to be enough to reach the tank or not. Probably going to have to use both hoses. No, I actually made it. Okay, so you can see where I've got it hooked up. And the first thing you have to do is turn the power on to it, and then it's got another switch. Hooked it to the macerator. And you come over here and you hook it up here. Turn the valve on to make sure that don't blow the tank apart. Then I've got this valve, make sure it's closed. You don't want to have a nasty accident in the back of the truck. Never had one, hope I don't ever. That would be awful. Alright, so at this point, what I do is open the black tank up. So you can see that's not pleasant, but it is what it is, right? All right, open the second valve up, and then, okay, power's on to the converter, and then you turn it on. As you can see, it's flowing. And we're flowing into the tank. Pull the grate open and see the clear water starts running in it. It's not completely full, so I don't have a whole lot of gray water coming out of it. We did empty this on our way back, so I had to put a little bit of water in it just to demonstrate this for you. So as you can see, it is starting to fill in the tank, but it's trying to get on air a little bit. But you get the point. The point is it's totally doable to be able to put this in the back of a truck, fill it up 40-45 gallons. I wouldn't want to push it all the way to the top, but 40-45 gallons. If you want a bigger tank, get you a bigger tank. But you can put it in the back of this, drive it down truck stop or rest area, dump station, campground, Corps of Engineer, wherever you're at, and just offload it. It makes it so much easier. I'll show you in a minute when it gets done getting the last bit of this out. I'll show you how I actually back over to a dump station. I'll just back over to the septic tank here and show you how to do it. We are, yep, it's done. It's down to air. Okay, everything's loaded back up. Everything's wiped down. I always wipe the outside of my boxes down with Clorox wipes. Maybe overkill, but I just, you see I put a lot of stuff in the back of my truck. I don't want to take a chance contaminating things. So when I get it back in the boxes, wipe it down, and then take the gloves off, throw them away, good to go. All right, so here's the tank. Got, I don't know, maybe 5-6 gallons in it, maybe. We're back over to the, hang on a second, I had a bee chasing me around. We're back over here to the septic tank and unload it. Be right back. So I put everything else up. I hooked up the sewage hose like you would normally do at a dump. And as you can see, I slid the tank back just a little bit. It puts my connection here where I don't make a mess in the truck when I undo this, because inevitably you're going to have a few drops here or there. So it comes out, usually hits the bumper. I take the water there to the dump station, just rinse it off. Get a little bit on the tailgate, not a big deal, do the same thing, but try to keep it out of the bed of the truck. And again, I'll clean it and sanitize it. I just don't want it on anything. So screws into the end of, I know not all places it'll screw in, but it likes to screw into mine. So screw it in, put the piece on. You get up here, you just got to make sure that this is actually open, and then you just let it go. At the dump stations, you can actually get right up against it, so you just dump it right off the back of the truck. But I have a gas meter here too, or a gas pipe. I didn't want to get on top of it, so just hold this up to show you how you empty it out. But as it gets empty, you know how these are, they accordion, so you just accordion it back up and let it finish getting whatever's in there. Alright, so it's empty, so just pull that back off. If I was at a wash station, I would just undo it right here. I'll pick it up, I'll rinse it out real good. I don't have water right here. I'm going to have to go around the other side of the building, so I'm just going to put the two ends of this hose together, take it around front, wash it out, and then put it back in. But for demonstration purposes, you can see how easy that was. Turn the valve back off, and that's pretty much it. It just makes it really, really easy. So I'm going to take the gloves off, go turn the camera off, and then I'm going to put gloves back on and finish cleaning this up. Then do a little YouTube magic, and this is going to look like it went real quick and real easy. Really, from start to finish at a campground, I can actually hook it all up, pump it in, go dump it out, and be back sitting watching TV or sitting out front barbecuing. I can do the whole thing in less than 30 minutes. Well, you can do that, or you can hook that rig up and pull it over there and do it. But I'd just rather do it this way. Again, if you're mooch docking or something, you can take the hose, run it to their sewer. Even if it's 100 feet, you can run it to their sewer and run it inside of it. Just did that at a friend's house in Texas. He didn't have it where I could get right up against the sewer, so put the macerator on, ran it right over to the sewer, and would empty it every other day or so. Worked out really good. By the way, thank you, Terry, if you're watching this. Drop a question, comment on it. Let me know if I missed something. Is there a better way to do this? This works really well for me. Can't imagine how I can make this much easier, but there's always somebody else out there building a better mousetrap. I originally got my first idea from Bill at I Ride Tiny House. He's got a van and does a similar thing, and really I just kind of expounded on what he does. I use the 110 instead of 12 volts. I can do either. I just do it that way because it's easy for me. For you, it may be easier to use a house battery. Again, if you got any questions, let me know. If this has helped you out, gave you some good ideas, so like and subscribe our channel. We need the people to help get it off the ground. We're at I think 162 subscribers, and we'd like to be a whole lot more than that, but that is not why we do this channel. We do this channel because it helps other people. We enjoy doing this kind of stuff. We like to get out and see other people, make new friends, and just kind of share the knowledge with like-minded people. So anyway, till next time, that's about it.